Vice President, General Secretary, Delegates. In moving motion 25, the last thing I want to do is to fuel or intensify the competitive nature of the debates that have been doing the rounds in recent months as to which group of workers provided the most essential service and made the greatest contribution since the beginning of COVID-19. I think it's clearly obvious to all at this stage the workers we're talking about and the vital roles they performed and indeed continue to perform during the unprecedented global public health crisis. Delegates, we owe them our deepest gratitude and respect, and we should as a union movement never stop fighting for the permanent recognition and reward they undoubtedly deserve. However, I make no apology in using my time at the podium here today to highlight the selfless bravery of the many thousands of retail workers who from day one faced the great unknown of the potentially life-threatening dangers that the virus presented. They performed courageously and displayed a standard of not only service but indeed public duty that belies the low earning levels and poor working conditions that many have to endure. And given the statistical evidence that shows retail workers were amongst the highest cohorts exposed to contracting the virus, there can be little doubt that some consequently died and paid the ultimate price in the performance of their duties. It is doubly tragic to think that some were brought to this point because of economic necessity. Short of contracting the virus and becoming ill, many others had to suffer the indignity of losing their jobs or significant reductions in income as the businesses they worked for either closed for good or shut down for lengthy periods of time. In particular, it would be wrong not to use this opportunity to mark the struggle of the men and women who paid a heavy price through the loss of their livelihoods in the likes of Debenhams and Arcadia, to name but two major retailers who permanently ceased trading since March 2020. It is indeed unfortunate that it has taken the pandemic to raise sufficient public awareness of the vital role played by retail workers. However, gratitude, no matter how genuinely expressed, will not in itself be enough to ensure that their efforts are not soon forgotten. Delegates, the purpose of the motion before you that seeks your support is an attempt to lay the foundation to ensure that this does not happen. And in this regard, the work of the retail sector group within Congress through its campaign, A New Deal for Retail and Distribution Workers, paves the path that we now must follow. The main objectives of the campaign are relevant now more than ever. Objectives such as the right to collectively bargain through a trade union, the right to a decent income, the right to other decent terms and conditions of employment, such as paid sick leave, pensions, paid maternity and paternity leave, the right to adequate staffing levels. Now, these are only some of the demands outlined in the main campaign document, which can be accessed on the Congress main website. Of course, and it's been said here by many speakers this morning, we all know the attainment of these enhanced terms and conditions of employment are more likely to happen through a statutory right to collectively bargain. And however achieved, this key objective must remain the primary focus of the movement for delivery before we meet at the next BDC in 2 years' time. Now, despite the gratitude and reward that is unquestionably due to the women and men who staffed our retail outlets during the course of the pandemic, some employers still don't accept the reciprocal obligation this places on them. For many years now, representatives from Mandate have stood at podiums such as this, decrying the behaviour of one of Ireland's biggest and most profitable Indigenous retailers, Dunnes Stores. Remarkable as it might sound, Dunnes workers, despite their heroic efforts over the past 20 months, are still being denied by their employer the right to collectively bargain through a union of their choice. If Dunnes were ever looking for an appropriate opportunity or moment to move their industrial relations model out of the dark ages, surely now they have it. And in an effort to highlight the ongoing plight of our Dunnes members, we have commenced a public awareness campaign which up to this point has, not surprisingly, attracted huge support. And I want to thank anybody in the hall here or elsewhere who've already added their voice to that campaign. And I would also ask affiliates, each affiliate union, that you place the link to the campaign on your own communication platforms in order to build maximum support and pressure on this employer.
Gerry, time.
Yeah, just winding up there, Vice President, and you can find that on our website. We've already, in the public sector group, we've already achieved representations with Dáil committees and also with the Minister for State for Retail in the South, and we've made approaches to their counterparts in the North, and hopefully that will yield equally beneficial, productive political engagement. And finally, Vice Chair, the work of the retail sector group within Congress has only just begun, and the sister unions that make up its numbers are determined to deliver for retail workers, who without question should command our gratitude, loyalty and support. The greatest manifestation of this is through supporting Motion 25. Delegates, I urge you to support. Thank you.